It is a divine gift that we have, made possible by the grace of God. Grace fills every moment when we are truly present. Let's take a moment to settle in. Make yourself comfortable. Gently close your eyes if you wish. Now, with your eyes closed, start to connect with your body. Is there any tension you may be holding? See if you can consciously relate and release each muscle, starting with the top of your head and working your way down, all the way down to your toes. As you release any tension, imagine it flowing out of your body and into the ground. Now take a deep breath and use your exhalation to release even further. Breathe deeply and slowly in and out through your nose. And as you breathe, become aware of the sensation of the air moving in and out of your body. Allow your breath to flow naturally now, without trying or trying to control it. Pay attention to the rise and fall of your chest and the sensations of air moving in and out of your nose. Let's practice mindful breathing for a few moments and let go of any thoughts or distractions that may arise by simply focusing on your breath and letting yourself be present in this moment. Good. Now that we are settled, I wonder if you can visualize a door in front of you. Imagine this door is made out of beautiful shining wood with a golden handle. As you approach the door, you may feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. This door represents your intuition. It's always there, just waiting for you to open it and to trust what's inside. You know that behind this door lies your intuition. It is waiting to guide you. So take a deep breath and reach out to grasp the golden handle on that beautiful door. You feel the touch of the handle in your hand. And as you turn it and push the door open, and as the door opens, you are greeted by a bright, warm light that seems to fill the room and beyond. This light, that warm, bright, beautiful light, is coming from within you. And it represents your inner wisdom and your intuition. So step into the light and feel yourself being enveloped by a comforting energy. And this energy is called the voice of your intuition. It is always there to guide you. Now it is totally awake inside of you. Look around that room and you'll see a large glowing orb in the center. This orb represents healing, the healing energies and your intuition. It is here to help you to to become the best channel for them, to use them in a selfless way which also benefits others. As you approach the orb, you'll see that it's surrounded by a soft, white, radiant light. Imagine yourself now and reach out and place your hand on the orb, feeling the warm energy flow into your body. You'll feel a sense of peace and clarity, and it'll wash over you as your intuition begins to guide you. Now, take a deep breath and repeat the following phrases to yourself. I trust my intuition. I am open to receiving guidance from within. I release all doubt and fear. We'll hold this thought and stay in this peaceful, calm state for a few moments. It is important to remember that the energy for healing comes from the universe. You are simply a conduit for the energy to flow through. Imagine that warm and comforting light. It's become brighter and brighter. It is filling your entire body, your mind, and it's filling your soul. Let go of any expectations or attachments. This is not about controlling the energy or directing it in a specific way. It is about trusting that energy that will flow where it is needed, where it's needed the most, and repeat to yourself, I let go of my ego, and I allow the energy to flow through me. I trust that the energy is flowing through me when it is needed most, and I surrender, allowing it to flow freely through me. Let go of all thoughts and just focus on the sensation of the energy flowing through you. When faced with doubts or uncertainties or situations that we can't control, take a quiet moment in your mind and listen to the whispers of your intuition. It may not always be clear or easy to understand, but trust that it is guiding. It is guiding you in the right direction. It is the grace of God. And most importantly, have faith in yourself and your abilities to follow through on this guidance. So continue to nurture and cultivate this relationship you have with your intuition, and let it guide you to help and serve others selflessly. So as we close this session, slowly bring your attention back to the present moment. Take a deep breath and feel the vitality of your intuition fully awakened, and embrace it.
Thank you, Joan. Yeah, I noticed Grace, and then I forgot, Christine, you're Christine Grace. So that's kind of lovely today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, for the past 2 weeks, I have just been singing, I am so grateful, and I promise to keep my heart wide open. And as I was thinking about that, grateful, and it's such a feeling of being in divine grace. And I wanted to bring that to you because it's, yeah, there are things that happen in our lives and it's by the grace of God, or there, but for the grace of God go I. But there's a continuation of grace. And I think that we don't realize that and we don't recognize it. So I wanted to bring that perspective of grace to you today. So I thought, let's explore this. Let's explore together this profound truth that grace is not a reward given or withheld, but a constant creative force. And it's always blowing in our lives, just as the gentleness. I don't know if you noticed this morning as you went outside, there was just this gentleness and this beautifulness and a peacefulness. And I am now, of course, my neighbors totally think I'm crazy anyhow, but I just now open the door when I'm talking to the Holy Mother, and in my jammies or my nightgown, I'm just outside looking at my little garden and walking around the sidewalk. And Julie went by with Tilly, and I waved to Julie and Tilly the dog, and it's really great. And of course, none of my neighbors probably would go outside in their nightie, but mine are pretty, so it's okay. It's okay. So like the wind of the sea then, divine grace is forever present, right? But it requires activity to raise your sails. You know, I was reading, actually, my friend Jackie brought me this thing about why, if you Google unity and ask Google why people think unity is a cult, it's a very interesting thing. But one of the things in there was that they think we just say an affirmation and all comes to us. And that is such a misconception, because activity, it requires activity. Everything from our mind requires activity. So if the wind on the sea and divine grace is blowing, or it requires activity then for us to raise our sails. Nothing comes in religious science, even though I don't like the word treatment. They say treat and move your feet. Pray and you have to have activity. So we, in this, quote, New Thought movement, do not just say all is perfect, complete, and fine, and then the world gives us everything. That is such a wrong conception, and you can tell that it really annoyed me a bit. But we'll talk more about that as we move forward in our growth plans for this center. So when life then throws you unexpected curves, as it does, as John shared with us in his meditation, and sometimes we feel battered and torn and thrown around, we're called to rise above our fears and purify our consciousness and move into the stillness of our higher self. To move into that stillness, right? And it is in this quiet center, that we find the strength to steer our lives forward, trusting the current, the divine sacred current, to move us forward. So to truly then live in grace, we must learn the power of complete surrender, letting go of our need to control, manage, and fix every outcome, right? So by shifting again is activity. When we shift, we're actively doing something. So shifting our perspective then and viewing ourselves as transparent conduits for the Holy Spirit, We allow infinite love to flow through us into this world. Ultimately, then, living in grace brings us to a state of deep gratitude, perfect wholeness, and peace, realization that we're always one with the sacred center. We are always one with the sacred center. And did you know that sacred grace is bigger than compassion? It's bigger than forgiveness. Grace is the very essence of the being of God. The mystical poet Ramkrishna Tagore wrote, "The winds of the sacred grace are always blowing. It is up to us to raise our sails." So what does that mean? All that you have to do is put up your sails, trust, and allow the sea of life to carry you across the sea to the other shore. Trust the sea of life to carry you across the other shore. But again, our life gets mixed up and it gets torn and tattered by all that's sent to us at different times. So then, based on what Tagore is telling us, it's up to us to get our boat and our life seaworthy. See, everything stems from action. It's not, "Dear God, give me, and I'll just open my arms and let manna flow down to me." Sorry, it does not work that way, right? We have to be seaworthy. Our boat, our life, our container, that which fills us up has to be seaworthy. And it's up to us to trust the sacred grace to fill these sails and move you forward, steering you always in the right direction. I know that this sounds metaphysically correct, right? Everything I'm saying is metaphysically correct and very symbolic. But again, I say to you, what does it mean? The winds of the sacred grace are always blowing, and it's up to us to raise our sails. What does that really mean? It means we must raise our consciousness and be open with our spiritual eyes and our spiritual ears to be receptive, Receptive is also an action. It's opening the mind and the heart, right? So the guidance from the divine is for us to recognize the gift, recognize the beauty, right, that have been given to us. So many little beautiful things are given to us throughout our lives, and we don't understand that that is the grace of God. That is. So where does this word come from? The word grace comes from the Latin word gratia, meaning favor, charm, thanks. Grace is seen as a creative force, an act of exceptional kindness and goodness. How many times in your life have you had exceptional kindness and goodness? Great things that have happened to you. 3 weeks ago, I opened my door and there was a beautiful bouquet of flowers being delivered to me for no occasion. That's the grace of God. That's goodness. I was in awe of that day, of awe of someone that took the time to say, I just want to send her flowers. That's lovely. How many times have good things like that happened to you? A package at the door you weren't expecting, right? Somebody calls from the past and say, I've been thinking about you and I want to thank you for this that you did for me 10 years ago. These are all things of the grace of God. So in Christianity, which we're Christianity and so much more, yes, I'm still annoyed about that article. You must read it. In Christianity, grace is defined as infinite love, which it is, mercy, favor, and goodwill shown by God. Therefore, that is the same grace that we believe in. Same exact grace, right? So here's the important thing then. Grace is not something that's given to you or withheld to you. Again, it is something that is always there. It is up to you to open up your mind and heart and be receptive. Open. Action. Action. Grace is a state of being which comes with the active expression the moment consciousness has been purified. Oh my God, what does that mean? Consciousness purified. What do I have to do now? Consciousness purified is nothing more than being in the stillness. Nothing more, nothing less, right? Therefore, divine grace is forever present in our consciousness and cannot operate unless we are still and know. And more importantly, and this is so important, it cannot manifest or express in the presence of fear or hate. The grace of God does not come in the presence of fear and hate. So if you're going around and saying, or I'm sure not in here, but you know people in your family and your friends, this always happens to me. Why does this happen to me? I do all these right things. Why does this happen to me? Because you're in a state of fear, hate, arrogance. You're not in openness. Things only happen to you by the power that you give them to happen to you, right? Think about old paintings. Old paintings show the circle of light around the heads of saints, as if to say, this is one who is holy, one who lives in grace. Somebody said to me this week, and I'm not saying that, I'm just going to say it. Someone said to me, I want to know what makeup you wear. Every Sunday, you have such a glow. Well, it's not my makeup. It's me praying as I come here. Let the Spirit of God speak through me. Speak through me, with me, as me. You know, it's not, makeup doesn't make you have a glow. The grace of God, opening your life to the beauty of who and what you are and experiencing everything. Haven't you seen sometimes the portraits of streaming light down from the heavens, showering the sainted one in the blessing of grace? And it's interesting, I was doing a FaceTime with one of my prayer partners, and this extraordinary thing happened. So she was having a very, very difficult time, with the story not important. And as I was praying with her and for her, all of the background that was on my computer screen started to dissipate. And all of a sudden, there was just this white light around her. And I didn't say anything to her, but I was going, thank you, God. Thank you, God. She's being blessed. She was in such hurtful pain. That has never, ever happened to me before. There are beautiful things that can happen in our life. Just have to open our mind. We know we are each individual manifestations of that one sacred creator. And from this then, from this perspective, our natural state is to live divine, happily, ever after. And it's possible. I've been on this quest, and so this Friday would be my 3rd week of divine happiness. I made a declaration 3 weeks ago on a Friday to be in divine sacred happiness. And so it's working. See, this stuff, you remember I said in the way in the beginning, I hate the word this stuff happens. This stuff works. It's absolutely beautiful. So if we re-examine the concept of grace, we can see that there's a new definition of today's. It's not only by the grace of, but for the grace of God go I, but very sensitive and enlightened people can describe the physical experience of the grace that happened when I was praying with my friend. How did her screen just dissipate and only be white? How did that happen? Right? So very sensitive and enlightened people can describe the physical experience of grace. It sometimes can be felt in very subtle terms and as a sense of lightness and sweetness, fullness, and blessings. Most people experience grace from witnessing as it works in their lives. As you become more open, you become more centered in yourself. Your inner nature, you observe life and all that's around you. So start observing life around you, but yourself. It is the most interesting thing to step back and say, I'm going to find out more about me, this person over here, and to work with that. I have one little situation I'm working with in my life, and so I journaled like 4 pages today about that and realized that I am part of this situation, and oh, look what you're doing there. See, because when you step back and give yourself this honest thing, you can go, oh yeah, I see it now. Okay, all right, the truth is. And that is such a fun thing to do. See, we get so scared. Well, we got to tell the truth about ourselves. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, you can. It's easy and it's fun if you allow yourself to have fun in what you're doing with yourself, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in this head. Oh, my God. So there's this process then of living in grace and giving up your attachments, and you have to simply become the witness to your own life. Yeah, we don't have to be out there witnessing for God. We have to be the witness for our own lives, right? And as we witness and observe who and what we are, oh my God, we're so funny. Come on, guys, we are so funny. You got to walk around your house, those of us who live alone, we crack ourselves up. Because, right? Absolutely right. So this process then of living in grace, knowing that the universe unfolds exactly as it should at all times, it is all good, it's all God. That's it, it's all good, it's all God. And through the, let's just say 15, 20 religions, it's still one God, it's still all good, it's all one God, right? And the presence within us then is also the grace that flows through every moment of our life. So I challenge you guys to make a decision that you're going to work on and have how many weeks of divine happiness? Challenge. Divine happiness. To wake up smiling. I dare you to go outside in your jammies and say good morning to the Holy Mother. Now that's a good one, right? Right? Because grace that flows in every minute of our life. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Joel Goldsmith tells us to fall into grace, right? He likes to write about the importance of being a transparency for God. This is a beautiful idea. It shows ways of living in grace, that you don't give up your individual power, right? But it just heightens our intentions. So I want you to, I'm going to try a little exercise with you. Okay, so uncross your laps, your legs, shake out your hands. Don't be holding on to anything. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. And center yourself within. And then center spot. I want you to use your gift of imagination. Imagine your skin becoming completely transparent so that all of your muscles and tendons show through. Imagine. Now imagine that all your muscles become transparent so that your organs and bones show through. Now all your bones and organs become transparent. revealing all of your blood vessels and nerves. Now even your blood vessels and nerves become transparent until you are completely transparent, a clear shell of a human. Now bring your attention to the sacred, the great undifferentiated spirit, and invite it to flow through your transparent being into the world. Relax and let this flow of the sacred pour through every inch of your body into the world, as if you were a clear window, a conduit of the divine. And as this essence pours through your being, set your attention in love, knowing that this too is grace, pouring through you into your whole life. Now, very slowly, bring yourself back to this room when you're comfortable. This simple exercise brings you to living in grace. Beautiful humans, transparent, letting the flow of God, the sacred, the grace of God move through you. So as you experience the deep certainty of this divine flow, there's nothing to ask for or want, only the desire to just be. And you begin your life from this point on in wholeness, taking that beauty, that transparency with you. There is only gratitude for all of it, and now you begin to comprehend the reality of living in grace. In order to hear this voice of the sacred and receive its importance and its grace, we must live quieter. We must live quietly and peacefully within. We must rest. There must come a time in order to hear the voice of the sacred. It's so important. We must rest. Rest. It's not an activity of the mind. It is the rest. It is the peace of the soul. This period of rest is the fruitage of abiding by these principles, by these divine principles that we live by. It is the true meaning of the Sabbath that Moses gave the Hebrews. It is the period of rest. Your ultimate goal must be live in through as the sacred one. You are the sacred ones. Otherwise, how could the master teacher have revealed, take no thought for your life? There is always a sufficiency in the grace of God for the present moment. Therefore, you only have to be still for a moment to receive it. The more one can surrender the self-appointed desires, the more spirit can function as the individual mind and body. What a tremendous satisfaction comes in the realization that I and the Mother, Father, God are one. as no longer are there worries for tomorrow. There's only now, only right now, this beautiful moment we're in. To be able to enter the silence just for the joy of communicating with God is magical. To abide in the peace until one feels that grace take the form as healing, as being uplifted and manifestation of supply, is to surrender. It's an attitude of self-surrender that allows one to rise above wanting and achieving and trusting that the divine right action is there. It's being revealed to you. Living by grace is a way of being. You'll find yourself living a new dimension that is fulfilling, and it's so soul satisfying. So I say to you today, lay down your struggle and surrender to living in grace. Grace is God's goodness given to you in a greater proportion that you've ever given to yourself. And yet God keeps giving and giving and giving. If you're open is an activity, open to receive. Grace is not earned, nor will it be taken from you. Open your heart, and you will see it there. And I'll close from Joel Goldsmith. Once consciousness is cleared of the belief of selfhood apart from God, or anxiety and activity, substance, or law apart from God, consciousness is then ready for the blessing of divine grace. Thank you. Thank you. And I think David has picked a perfect song.
Jules gets the credit on this one. Why don't we stand up, get a little sway going, okay? Feel that energy flow. And I want you guys to lead this one. I think you know it, right?